Welcome back, you lovely people. So is everybody getting frustrated at the market? I know I'm getting a lot of messages that seem to indicate so. Well, what we're going to do is try and figure out how long it's going to take for us to make a decisive move to the upside or the downside. Firstly, of course, it's about staying patient. It's always about staying patient. Our eyes are on September and the cycle peak. So do not lose focus and make any critical mistakes at this time. But yeah, of course, we'd all love to know when it's going to happen. So let's try and figure that out. And why are people getting frustrated? Well, Bitcoin has been sideways now for, well, this is going all the way back to mid-February. And not only that, you have Chainlink now going sideways, of course, made a lovely all-time high a week ago, but we have, or even a few days ago, but we have very short memories and looking a bit sideways here at the top there. Binance been sideways for, give it a month really, looking all the way back to the 12th of April. And then looking down the list, Polkadot has been very sideways since mid-February. Matic has made a nice move near the all-time highs. However, since the end of April, really, we aren't a great deal higher than we were at that time. And let's have a look at Cardano. Cardano has been doing well, but bear in mind that we all the way back in late February, we went sideways for quite a while, and we are only 18% above the high of late February, which, as we know, for crypto is not a massive move. And therefore, the only real shining light at the moment is Ethereum, making new all-time highs almost every day at the moment. And looks extremely bullish. Looks like it's going to continue to do so, but rest of the market lagging somewhat. So it's all a Bitcoin story. Every altcoin, including Ethereum, is waiting to see what Bitcoin is going to do next. And when Bitcoin does make a decisive move, it will really determine what happens to the rest of the market. So Bitcoin is $56,500. And we had our nice sell-off yesterday or last night, which was a really decent sell-off. Just in that 8-hour time frame, we were down 8% or so. Since recovered, we held the trend line, and now we are consolidating below this resistance at 56.5. So this is really interesting from a technical analysis standpoint. Of course, we've had our fake outs to the downside and to the upside, and it's really keeping us guessing which way it's going to go. But let's try and provide some analysis. So I just want to go back to 2017 for a second. So let's have a look what was going on in 2017 over here. So I'm looking, let me move this. Sorry for moving this around all the time. I'm looking at this mid-cycle correction. This is obviously what we're going through in some way, shape or form. And we use it to give us clues. What some analysts are saying, which I don't necessarily agree with, but they're saying that the big correction that we had a few weeks ago is this big final capitulation here, and now we're recovering back to the all-time high as well. If they are correct, then we made new all-time highs 20 days after that low. So let's have a look where that would put us at the moment. 20 days after the low would put us on the 15th of May. And just bringing the drawings back, the 15th of May would converge beautifully with this upward sloping trend line, which has been really, really powerful and is probably our most important level. So even though I don't agree that is what has happened, that 15th of May date gives us a really good indication of when we're going to know, because as we get over to the 15th of May, we're going to be challenging this trend line and we're going to have to make a decision. And those that believe that we've put in the final capitulation, that means that we're going up. So by the 15th of May, if we have gone up, if we've held this trend line, if we've taken out this local high here at 59,000, I think we are almost certainly heading to the upside, new all-time highs, and then far beyond. So I believe the 15th of May is a Saturday, is this Saturday. And this Saturday could prove to be a very, very important day. Of course, we may see the move before then. But at the very latest, I'm looking at Saturday. If we are heading to the upside, we should see it by that point. So if we don't see that, and in fact, what will have had to have happened if we don't see that is we will have broken the trend line to the downside. That also means we'll have taken out this support line here at 55,800. So we'll have taken them out. This then starts to look very, very bearish. And if that would take place, then what does that look like? Well, again, heading back to 2017, in that sort of scenario, I'm looking at us breaking down towards the end of this extended pullback and us putting in one more final capitulation. So to give us some rough timings on that, I'm going to look at the peak to the bottom, which was 34 days, which is one way of looking at it. But we could also look at the first correction down to the bottom, which was 31 days. So between 34 and 31 days. So let's have a look at that. So 34 days from the peak would put us at, what's that, the 18th of May. So 18th of May is this time next week. Yeah, a week on Tuesday, next Tuesday. So that is an important date if we're heading to the downside. That could be when we put in the final capitulation. But the other way of measuring it was 31 days from this correction here. And that would put us on the 26th of May, so much later in the month. But we can say the 18th of May to the 26th of May. So those dates, just to recap, 15th of May, if we're heading up, we expect to have done it by then. So that is only a couple of days from now. We'll have probably seen some moves to the upside before then. So maybe it ends up looking something like this. I've gone to the 17th of May, but you get the picture, holding this trend line. And if we are heading to the downside, then to be putting in the final low between the 18th and the 28th. You know, that could look almost any sort of pattern, but something along these lines. And of course, this still aligns with what we were talking about 2 weeks ago, which is scenario A, that we put in a final capitulation. So now we're looking between the 18th and the 28th of May for that bottom. And option B is that we've put in the bottom and we're making new all-time highs. And we now have a drop dead date for that to happen by this Saturday, the 15th of May. So I hope that was useful. I hope it helps you all to remain patient and remain vigilant, not to get too frustrated with what's going on and to make any rash decisions, because trust me, Bitcoin does not move sideways forever. This is very, very reminiscent of Ethereum and Chainlink a few months ago, when everybody was moaning about them moving sideways. I urged everybody to stay patient, and they have been rewarded if they've done so. The same is happening with Bitcoin right now. A decision is due. We should have a much clearer idea by Saturday. But of course, we'll be tracking it. If anything changes, you'll be the first to know. Thank you for supporting. Please like and share these videos, and I will talk to you tomorrow.